Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Unhinged Fangirl with me, Destiny. Guys, I have to get something off my chest right off the bat. One, if you're looking on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, and you see that I don't have one of the three posters up on my wall, don't even, I shouldn't even draw attention to it, but I had to just to whatever. I don't know. But I am a little tired, if I'm being honest, but when am I not? I usually film this podcast in the middle of the day. And by that point I've been up for almost 12 hours and it's just I can't do it anymore. How about that? But first, housekeeping, as y'all know, please subscribe to the YouTube channel at Unhinged Fangirl Podcast. Hello. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We're getting better with the clips, or at least we're trying to. Please give me a 5-star rating. Follow the podcast on Spotify. And yeah, I think that's all the things that I need for y'all to do. First off, I have to get something off my chest. There is an enemy living amongst us. There is an enemy living amongst us, and I have been quiet about it for way too long. And if we're being honest, I've tried to forget about it, and I've tried my best, but I can't because I was reminded of it last night. And what I mean by all of this is that I would say, actually, I captured that moment on my podcast about 2 weeks ago when when a cockroach came out of its hiding place in the middle of me filming the podcast. Yeah, well, I thought it was a one-off thing because, again, I've lived in this building for going on 4 years, but I switched units this year, and I had never dealt with any type of pests, none of that. I would get a few flies in my apartment, but that's literally nothing. It's summer. What else are we gonna do? So, when I found that I keep wanting to say lovely. What's up with that? It's not lovely. It's awful. When I found the on my floor, I killed it. I disposed of it. I was like, okay, that was a one-off thing. Last night, I walked into my bathroom doing my nightly routine. Usually in the mornings, because I wake up so early, I just take off my pajamas and I leave them on my bathroom floor until, I have to wear them again the next night. Thinking about it is literally just making me sick. It's I pick up my shirt off my bathroom floor and there's a cockroach in it. There was a cockroach in my pajamas. Thankfully, I didn't just scoop up my pajamas in just one go. I picked it up one by one. I screamed. I literally jumped up onto my sink. And I was literally frozen in fear. I was frozen in fear because these are not just they're not tiny ones. They're not oh yeah, that's I don't even know what a tiny cockroach would look like because these bitches are fat. They're big and they're they're living amongst me right now. Because tell me why I jumped up on my sink. I was literally defenseless. I was quite literally defenseless. I had nothing in my midst. And I just had to sit there and watch it crawl because I'm I don't have a shoe. I don't even have I don't have Lysol to suffocate it. I don't have any weapons. I am literally unarmed. So, and then it went under my stove and I haven't seen it since. So that's awesome. But yeah, I'm living with enemies right now. I'm assuming there's multiple because what the hell? But I did submit a request to try to have somebody look at something. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not the expert here. Like, I need help. They're coming from somewhere, and we need to find out where. And we need to shut it down immediately. Honestly, I'm about ready to bomb this apartment, if we're being honest, because I have had so many problems with this unit. Again, in the 3 years that I lived here on a different unit, there were no problems. Like, there would be something here and there, toilet clogged, AC's acting funny, but like nothing like what I went through in the past. It's literally just a month alone. Like, literally last week, I had to not be in my apartment all day because they had to redo the entire floor because of when I don't think I actually said this on the podcast, but basically the unit next to me was vacant and there was some leak and it was flooding into my unit. And so they had to rip up. It's literally just, I'm exhausted just talking about it. They had to rip up part of my floor and then they were going to replace it, but then they couldn't match up the flooring. So they had to redo the entire floor. So I had to be out of my apartment the entire day. Thankfully, they did do it in one day, but I was like, and also I haven't had like regular AC in 3 months. Like, they put in a window unit that's been fine since I live in a studio. Like, it's a very small space. It's not that crazy. And it's been doing fine, but I haven't had like my actual AC in 3 months. So maybe like, I don't know if the enemies among us are coming from the window. Like, I don't know how that works. Like, do cockroaches like crawl like that? Like, I don't know what their build is, but I know they're fat as hell. Yes, I'm fat shaming cockroaches. I don't care. Y'all are fat and disgusting and should die. So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with recently. I just went to the store to buy Lysol because, again, I can suffocate them that way and I don't have to just like step on them and pray that like it, oh my God, I actually can't. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I literally had a mental breakdown last night because also my period is coming. So I was like dealing with my manic head from that. I was also dealing with obviously the enemy among us. And I was also, say also one more time, Destiny. And I was, I'm going to say it. I was also dealing with Nicolandria because obviously I have made that ship my entire personality for the past, I don't know, month. And that is what I'm unhinged about this week. So to answer the question that I ask myself every week, what made me unhinged this week, I did dive into, I wrote down the fact that my entire floor had to be redone and my AC still doesn't work. Yeah, so I am kind of going insane. I am. And I would be lying if I said I wasn't. Because, like I said, I am about to get my period. And sometimes when I get my period, I just get like angry. But sometimes I get angry, sad, and manic. And it's like, what? Literally, what do you want from me? I'm also like breaking out on my chin. So that's awesome. So it's just laughable at this point. I wish men could like actually feel what we feel, because it's not just like, oh, once a month you bleed. Like, yes, obviously that part is awful and just rants. Like, it's awful, but the mental, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Honestly, like it is actually the worst thing you could ever go through every single month. Yay, once a month. Guys, just give me grace. Just please give me grace, because I am on the edge of like, I don't even know. I'm on the edge of something, and it's not something great. Anyway, the other part of what made me unhinged this week, which I already said, but Nicolandria. Because when me and Crystal filmed last week, which, by the way, it was so fun to have a guest on this podcast, because normally it is just me talking for an hour to upwards to an hour and a half alone. So it was nice to actually have someone to bounce off of. So yeah, that was a really fun time. Again, I would like to have more formal guests on here. And by formal, I just mean like more of my friends. But as you can see, I am still like filming or recording the audio on my phone. So it's like, I don't know how that would work. Like you would need enough space to also record on your phone, which is what I did with Crystal. And it sounded okay, but it wasn't like great. So I just need a better setup. But right now, this is what we got because I literally don't have the mental. I'm just taking it one day at a time. But anyway, when we filmed last week, it was right after the heart rate challenge. And I feel like so much has happened since then. I mean, realistically, I think there's been, what episode are we on? Like 33? 33 will be on Thursday. And the heart rate challenge was 25, I want to say. So yeah, it's almost been, oh God, that's crazy. But so much has happened in between then that I really do need to discuss. And, you know, some may hate that this is basically a Love Island recap channel or podcast, but like this is quite literally the only thing that I've been doing for the past month. So like if you don't want to hear about it, like I'm sorry. But I'm also like not sorry at all because again, this is really all I care about. It's all the mental space that I have. And since today is Wednesday, we're not getting a new episode. So somebody has got to say something, and it's going to be me. So, I have also wrote down that I've never been so obsessed with my phone. I feel like it's crack. That's how I've been feeling this week. Like I have not been on Twitter and TikTok at the same time. I don't think ever in my life. Like I'm literally just refreshing. Yeah, I've just absolutely been obsessed with Love Island in general, but also just like Nicolandria as a whole. And I keep seeing tweets that are like, I'm so done with this. Like, it's just been so negative, and I will get into that later, but I just feel like the energy has been so negative, and I'm like, guys, can we just have, like, fun for a second? Like, can we please enjoy the space where we're at? Because once this is done, I know y'all are gonna miss it. Like, don't play with me right now. Like, I know you're kind of miserable. Maybe you shouldn't be, because it's going to be gone within a blink of an eye. Literally, the last episode is going to be Sunday. Like, can we put some perspective on this, please? But anyway, let me go through like the little, I'm not going to go through everything because I really don't want to go through the standing on business challenge. I don't want to do that because I have never been so angry in my life after watching an episode, because that challenge was diabolical. It really, 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 really was diabolical. But now that I'm sitting here thinking about this, since we're probably not getting movie night, because like, why would they do movie night now? Yeah, they're definitely not doing movie night because on Thursday, the day that this podcast comes out, we're going to have another elimination. So there's only going to be like the top 4 couples left. So it's like, we're not getting it. But there was a moment afterwards where Huda, she wrote a card for Pepe about how at this point Pepe was with Grayson, and Huda in the letter was basically like, I know you don't like Grayson like you liked Hannah, like why aren't you being honest? But Huda never said that she wrote it. It was like anonymous or whatever. And then later that night, like she told Chris about it, and I thought like if we were going to get movie night, they were definitely going to play that clip because like duh. But we're not. I'm literally almost positive we're not getting movie night. So at this point, is Pepe never gonna know? Like, is he not gonna know until he gets out the villa? Question mark. I don't know. I do have to say also in that episode, and it's been talked about ad nauseum online, but when Ace basically said that he was 5'10", and this got me thinking. This really got me reeling, and I did talked to my friend Olivia about this, and I don't think she understood where I was coming. I don't think she understood where I was coming from. But here's what I'm saying. If a man is willing to lie about his height, especially on national TV where we've seen you stand next to other people and we have their height comparisons, and we see that you are nowhere near that height comparison that you said that you were, that's just like pathological liar to the max. To like at this point, I want him to roll up to the reunion and pull out a tape measure because baby, what? He's giving like 5'6", 5'7". He's probably my height, and I am 5'7". So like, anyway, but this got me thinking because men lie about their height all the time, you know, especially the short ones. And I saw a video on TikTok once where this guy was going around the gym and he was asking guys' height. There was one guy, he was like, how tall are you? And he goes, oh, I'm 5'10". And then he literally pulled out a tape measure and he's like, okay, let me measure you. 5'5". So when men lie about their height, do they just think that women are stupid enough to believe them? Because that's what I'm gathering from this. Because do you think that we're not going to compare and contrast? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you lying? I literally see you with my own two eyes. If I'm 5'7" and you're telling me you're 5'10", and we're eye to eye right now, like that's just rude. That's just rude because you think I'm stupid. That's exactly what's happening. You think I'm stupid enough that I will just fall into whatever fantasy that you're selling. Like, what? That's crazy. That's just crazy. So any man who lies about his height thinks that women are stupid. That is the conclusion that I am coming to today. Okay, I did write more stuff about episode 26, but at that point, because of the whole heart rate challenge and Huda like dancing on Ace and Shelly being mad, like it was a whole thing. Huda was warming up to me and I felt really bad for her after she apologized, and it really felt like she was sorry. So I was feeling bad for her in that situation. And I just like, yeah, that's really all I have to say. Like, I really was feeling bad for her because I knew, like, after she realized what she had done, like, she literally just doesn't think about the decisions that she makes, which is, like, very sad. Honestly, it's like, oh, just like, take a second. Just take a second, have a little empathy, and think about how the other person's going to feel about this. And it's like, these are the things that we need to be working through in therapy. And this is why I have been saying from the start that Huda needs to be in therapy right after the villa. Like, I know she has a lot of supporters and like people who ride for her, and that's so great, but I'm going to need her to lock in with a therapist that she trusts, because, you know, I'm not saying that I'm perfect or that anybody in this villa is perfect, because if you are watching this season, you know that is far from the truth. But I'm just saying, I think Huda can be like an even more amazing person if she would just like understand her emotions and why she does the thing that she does. And I'm not a therapist. I'm not going to therapize her. But I do have a friend who told her therapist about Huda because she wanted her to watch the show. And the therapist was like, yeah, I think she has BPD. So that's actually not funny. But I'm just saying, like, I just think that she can really, like, even, like, be such a better person if she would just lock into therapy really quickly and be receptive of it. So those are my thoughts on Huda, because I can't go into it. But at that point, Sierra was also still in the villa, which I'll get to in a second. But after Nicolandria, like, essentially outed Huda for kissing Chris, I was so confused on my feelings with everyone, because I'm like, I'm mad at Shelly. I'm mad at Nicolandria. I'm mad at Sierra. I was like, this is interesting. And I was really angry. Like, I literally couldn't look at them without being angry. I'm over that now. I think my emotions got the better of me. And like, at the end of the day, this is a reality show. Like, I don't know these people. And like, whatever. But I was really angry at that point. I still feel the same way that I felt then about Sierra, but like, that's the only person. Everybody else, I'm like, you know what? It's fine. Now, also, during this whole thing, this was when Amaya was actually getting dogpiled on by 3 grown men. I don't understand why Babegate was still being brought up. Like, why are we still talking about the fact that Ace just didn't like Amaya? And he has such a problem with her calling him babe. I'm over it. Okay, thankfully, I think we have moved on because everybody is finally happy in their couples. But like, it was getting ridiculous. You have Austin being like, do you understand what that even means? You're going to say that to Amaya? And in that moment, I fear that his red hat was showing. Because what are you talking about? And then Zach, who, listen, when I first saw Zach, I was taken aback. Okay, I was completely and utterly obsessed, and I will admit that. Okay, and let's emphasize I was, because like I said before, he's Thai, he has beautiful tattoos, he has that Manchester accent, like he looked good, like he was a model, like on paper, heavy on paper. Zach was doing it for me. He really, really, really was. And then he spent a little more time in that villa, and I said, you've got to go. You've got to go. And he did. And he did, thankfully, because after he literally, it was Austin who wrote the letter to Amaya during that challenge, and then Ace jumped in and being like, blah, 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 blah. I thought we were over that once, y'all did that 3-way kiss, but apparently not. And you called her, like, I thought we were done with that. And then Zach decides that he wants to dogpile onto this, like, whatever's happening. And he's like, I do feel a little uncomfortable when you kiss me. And when you, blah, blah, blah. Zach, you're an extremely odd individual. And Amaya said it best. Because what are you doing? And then after all of that, after everybody saw that Amaya was America's favorite, he tried to get back in her good graces. Boy, it's not that complicated. Like, don't you dare ever, I don't want to look at Zach again. And he really is an odd individual. Like, Amaya hit the nail right on the head with that one. So at that point, I was just like, Amaya, get behind me. Get behind me, because I'm about to do something crazy. I'm about to do something crazy on this man. And like, Zach was such a snake, and I could just see right through him. And also, like, the voting for, like, America's favorite was so skewed because at that point we had not seen the Standing on Business challenge. So him thinking that America loves him, like, was crazy. We were just happy for Amaya because Amaya is the people's princess, like, whatever. But now she has Brian, so I really don't care. But I am a little afraid that Brian does not have good intentions, if we're being honest. I'm just protective. I'm protective over Amaya. I like where things are going now. Like, they were just in the hideaway. They had, like, a fun time together. And I do think their energies match, especially, like, the physical touch of it all. Like, she needs someone who prioritizes that, as well as words of affirmation, I feel like. Girl after my own heart. But I just hope that when the show ends, like, it's not like a quick switch up. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that actually works out. And, like, their relationship could work outside the villa because she's from New York, he's from Boston. So, like, that's literally like a 2-hour train ride. You know, I feel like they can make that work, and I want that for them. So, now, oh wait, I have a couple more things before I talk about Nicolandria, because you know I'm about to go in. It's just, and even in the last episode with Crystal, we were talking at that point, Andrina was still in the villa, and she was expressing like interest in Pepe, and we were like, oh my God, they would be like the hottest couple, blah, 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 blah. But I do remember saying that I don't know if Andrina is Pepe's type, because he had just been with 2 blonde women, and I'm like, okay, back to back, like, I don't know, that's a little odd to me. But I was like, you know what, maybe, because remember when Andrina got into the villa, Pepe was real quick to break out that Spanish. He was really quick. And I was like, okay, well, I think he's vibing with her. All of a sudden, he friend zones her. What? And he was like, I'm not really feeling Grayson. Pepito, what? So at this point, I was just like, oh, like, he just needs to go home. Pepe needs to go home and find Hannah. Like, you know, those 3 days together were magical for him. You know, like, I actually don't know how long they were coupled up for. But, you know, like, they really had something. So I was like, you know, I think it's just best for him to go home. All of a sudden, Iris is on the radar. Who's Iris, you may be asking? A white, blonde woman. And you know what? It really sickens me. It really sickens me when men have such a type like that. You're going to friend zone Andrina? And I'm not saying Iris is ugly. I'm not saying Grayson's ugly. I'm not saying Hannah's ugly. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But they are all white, blonde women. Okay. There's actually, I don't have words for that. I'm not going to have words for that, because, okay, like you couldn't have been any clearer. It was clear to me after Grayson, but now it's really clear. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Okay? Whatever. I don't know. So now let's get to the meat of what we're here for today. Guys, when you ship someone together, and this is for any fandom ever, when you ship 2 people together, it's usually like a fantasy. You know, you would love for it to happen, but at the end of the day, like, there's really maybe a 5% chance of it actually happening most of the time. So when episode 30 came out, and Sierra leaves the villa, because I don't think I mentioned it on here, but actually I didn't, because it wasn't a thing back then. And last week, it was before the Standing on Business Challenge, before the picture surfaced of Sierra's Instagram story of her using a Asian slur. That was before all that. So whatever I said about her before, that was before we knew what we know now. So Sierra leaves the villa because, there's multiple pictures of her using that slur in captions and, Instagram stories. You know what? Good on Love Island for that one, because it would have been a really bad look if they what's the word? They got rid of Yulissa because a video surfaced of her saying the N-word. And then, it would have been really bad if they would have, since it was so late in the game, if they would have just kept Sierra just to keep Sierra. But I also, I think social media was being very loud about it and being like, this is not okay. Like, we must take a stand. So I think, They did what they had to do. So Sierra leaves the villa. Mind you, Nick and Sierra are the only couples that are closed off. And it's quote unquote the strongest connection because they were closed off and because they took that step. So, I think Nick took it the best that he could. I don't know. Like, he was just like, I have to move on. And I don't think they would have allowed Nick to also go with Sierra. And I guess we'll know further when, he gets out of the villa and kind of talks about that whole situation. Or when Sierra wants to speak out and apologize for, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But back to the ship of it all. When you ship two people together, it's very rare that, it actually happens. So when episode 30 happens, Sierra gets kicked out of the villa. Nicolandria is still single because Taylor had already picked Clark. Also, I'm not going to touch on Taylor. I don't have the energy for him. I really don't care. I don't care. And now Nick is single. But this time the women have the choice of picking who they want to couple up with. I mean, you would have thought that I had actually won the lottery when Nicolandria stood there, said her speech about Nick. She's like, I've loved him since the moment I met him. I've loved him since the moment I met him. Okay. There was another line that she said too, and it was like, these are wedding vows. You know what I'm saying? This is what you say to your soon-to-be husband. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. But truly, it was an energy that I had never felt in my body before. Even now, Nicolandria is still happening as we speak. They are still waking up to each other. They are still waking up next to each other because they are still in the damn villa. Oh, what's Wednesday? Today's Wednesday. It's I think that there's 2 days left of filming. Oh my God. It's sick to think about. But I truly felt how men feel. If this is what it feels like to gamble, I get it. I completely and utterly get it because for weeks we have been screaming Nicolandria. And we kind of got that with, what was it, episode 21? When they kissed in Soul Ties. I mean, you would have thought that you would have thought I was getting a boyfriend. The butterflies I was feeling, it was truly insane. So for it to actually all come full circle moment, that is an energy I don't think I'll ever feel again. I don't think I'll feel it again. If that was my parlay, it would have hit crazy. Truly, I felt this is what gambling felt like. Finally, Nicolandria chooses Nick. Obviously, they're growing their physical and emotional connection together, and it's just been so. It's been so lovely and fun to watch. It's also made me emotional, mainly because I am getting my period, like I said earlier, but also, it's just like I said before. It is so nice to see a woman like Nicolandria be so cherished. And I do think that Nick is being genuine with his actions. And I mean, even oh my God, even before Nicolandria picked Nick, they went out on the dock. And before Nicolandria could even sit down, Nick is wiping the seat. He's making sure that it's, not wet or there's nothing on it. So she doesn't mess up her dress. And then after the recoupling, they go back on the dock. And, they're just saying, this is crazy. And she's maybe it's just been Nick the whole time. Everything keeps happening. And they're basically talking about, how everything has happened for a reason. And, they keep coming back to each other. And then he kisses her hand. I can't do it anymore, guys. I really can't do it anymore because it makes me feel like this is like joy I've never, ever felt before. And I know I'm dramatic in everything that I do, but like, this is so like, I've truly never felt like this. And also, I'm just like, it makes me really like genuinely angry and upset when people are like, I don't believe Nicolandria. I think blah, 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 blah. Like, how could you do that? How could you do that? Can you just be whimsical for 1 second? Can you just be happy? Literally, can you just be happy for anything? For a moment? Just a moment? You don't know joy. You don't want to experience joy. You want to be miserable. You want to be bitter. Just say that. Just say that. I literally today had to unfollow one of the people who I think I talked about on here. There's this guy on TikTok and he's been like, you know, recapping the episodes of Love Island and like really going into like deep analysis. But maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Maybe I just like wasn't listening, or maybe I found his videos like a little later. But like, he was talking about how he doesn't like Nicolandria. And I said, I must unfollow you. And yes, that's petty, but like, this is serious for me. Like, this is literally my everything. I haven't shipped a couple like this literally since Tom and Zendaya. And what's so funny about that is because I was thinking about it before I saw this edit, but there was an edit that I saw of Tom and Zendaya and Nicolandria. And I don't know, like, this is like, I haven't felt this joy in so long, because you want to know why? It's because both Nick and Tom yearn for women that they really love. And I'm not saying Nick loves Nicolandria, but I think he has love for her. And you can just tell in his actions. Like, I don't know if they just weren't showing it, or if production just, or maybe I was just like literally missing the signs. But I'm literally almost positive that Nick did not act like this with Sierra, because like, yes, of course he was a gentleman. Yes, of course he was funny and like, you know, willing to get to know her. And they even, you know, they closed things off. Like, it was getting pretty serious. But I'm just saying, like, when I saw that video of Nick's eyes dilating in real time looking at Nicolandria, you cannot make things up like that. He was outside. It wasn't like he was going from outside to inside to outside. You know, if you don't know, like, if your eyes dilate when you're looking at someone, you know, people say that means you're in love with them. And again, I don't think Nick is like in love with Nicolandria. I think he has a lot of love for her. But like, if there is a stair, Nick is there. If there is a stair for Nicolandria to climb, Nick will be there with his hand out and ready to assist. He keeps talking about how like he just wants to make her happy, and like he just, you know, I don't even know what he's saying actually. I just can't even think about it, because it is really messing up my brain chemistry. The two of them are messing up my brain chemistry. I'm getting so emotional watching their edits. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And the thing is, if you're not a Nicolandria stan, you're not a romance girl. You're not a romance book girl. Because this is literally the plot of every romance book I've ever read. You know, the initial first attraction, the will they, won't they. They're friends, but they have other people. They're in separate relationships. You know, they have a moment where they can be together for a second, but then they close it off and they're like, no, we're better off as friends. They go back to those respective couples. Things happen again. They find themselves back with each other. Like, this is every movie and like romance book I've ever wanted. I'm seeing it play out in real time. And there's something so special about it. Like, do I know that this is going to last outside the villa? I don't know. Do I want it to? Of course I do. But realistically, I don't know. But this is so fun and nice and lovely to see on my screen. And I do think that Nick treats Nicolandria differently than he treated Sierra. I do. And the people that are like, oh, how could you do that to one of your best friends? It's like, at this point, I don't think Alandria sees Sierra as a friend, especially like once she gets her phone back. Like, I don't think she'll be messing with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. And Zach said on a live that when Sierra was kicked off, they like gathered everyone around and basically was like, production said that Sierra had to leave because she violated like one of our terms of conditions. That's not what they, like, it wasn't terms and conditions, but it was something like violated the contract or whatever. So I think they all kind of realized, because like obviously something happened. It wasn't just like a family emergency, because I feel like if it really was a family emergency, they would have said that. But the fact that something happened where, you know, she had to terminate the contract, like I think they know that it's something bigger. And, you know, I don't know. I'm just speculating at this point, but I love every edit, every moment, every photo that we get to see of Nicolandria, and I'm just having fun with it. And literally anybody who doesn't get it, like, please don't talk to me. Don't talk to me ever again, because like you're never going to get it. And I just can't do it anymore. Other moments that I found were so cute. Recently, what was it, 2 episodes ago, they had the baby challenge where they woke up and they had to like care for babies. Now, I still don't like Ace. I still don't trust Ace. Am I warming up to the idea of the relationship of Ace and Shelly? Yes. I'm just now warming up to that idea. Okay, I think they are kind of cute together, and I think they're very sweet. But that's all I can give you, because I still don't like Ace. You know, I'm still not rocking with him. Also, I forgot to mention during the Standing on Business challenge, after they literally were yelling at Amaya, she's like, okay, I'm done. And she walked away, and she like needed to take a second to like cry and process. Ace decides he wants to get up and chase after Amaya. Like, what could you possibly say to her? You were one of the 3 people that were yelling at her. What could you possibly say to her at that moment? You're weird. Anyway, again, I don't really like Ace, but during the baby challenge, I don't think I've laughed that hard in a while. He was being so funny because he's so performative. He loves a bit. He loves to act. He loves doing something. He loves having something to do. And it was just so funny. Also, the villa, at that point, we still had Taylor and Clark. The villa was so black. Like, every baby had a bonnet on their head. A bonnet, a do-rag, like Nicolandria's baby having a do-rag. She's like, I need a do-rag for my son. She was being so serious. She's like, I need a do-rag. And Ace was like, you better get a do-rag from the store. I mean, you can't write comedy like that. That was too good. What else is I going to say? Oh, can we also talk about the fact that Nicholas is, I'm using his full government name. Nicholas's middle name is Marcel, like the shell, like Marcel. Nick's mom is real, like she's a real one. She's a real one, and I do trust her with my life, I fear. Also, I do think that Nick's mom is about to touch down in Fiji. And she is about to literally praise Alandria and kiss the ground that she walks on. The video of them being so excited when Alandria picked Nick, like, guys, we still are on such a high. Like, I'm not kidding. I have so many pictures of Nick and Alandria in my phone. Like, I'm a stalker. I am a stalker at this point, because what do you want me to do? Like, I'm never going to move on from this. I'm never going to shut up about them. I'm never going to move on from this. I literally, like, I will never be the same. Also, there was a point. Oh my God, actually. Well, there's 2 points. Nick and Landria were talking, and he was like, Marcel, do you like the name? And she was like, yeah, it's a part of you. Also, there was such a cute moment. It's actually like, I don't know why I'm obsessing over it, but when the boys were doing the challenge or the game with the babies and like the baby relay, pretty much. I'm actually going to rewatch that episode tonight because it was so fucking funny. But when they were doing the relay, Nick was being like very gentle with the baby. And there was a moment because all the girls were like up on the terrace and like the balcony. And Nick like had just changed Marcel, and he's looking up at Alandra and he goes, he's not crying. I just need to take a moment for that because I don't know what it is about that moment. He's literally like, look, see, I literally want to like twist my neck. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say about Nicolandria right now. They actually make me sick to my stomach in like the best way possible because it really is just so beautiful to see. That's all I have to say on that one. But I do have some logistical and functional questions for the women of Love Island, or really anyone on Love Island. I compiled a list of things that I need more info on. So if anybody could like help me out in understanding how this works, that would be great. But also I do have a quick note. I've noticed, maybe this is just Huda, but I've noticed that when the girls go to bed, like Huda specifically, like she's putting on freckles to go to bed. And her freckle game is like really good. Like I can't clock her freckles. I thought they were real at first. You know what I'm saying? Like they look really good. But she's like putting on freckles and like lip gloss to go to bed. Like, is that normal? Because, you know, if I ever get to that point with a man, like like we're doing bonnet on, t-shirt on, like the most lip gloss you're going to get is some Vaseline that I'm putting on my lips. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not doing that. Like, my skin may look oily because of all the serums that I'm putting on my face, but, like, we're not... Like, is that something that y'all do in a new relationship? I can't. We're not doing that. But anyway, I have a couple more logistical questions. So... a lot of times in the villa, like, you know, there's obviously they have like daytime, they're by the pool, they're in their swimsuits, then they like take a rest, get ready for nighttime. A lot of times people will be like, oh yeah, I didn't get a chance to pull you for a chat, or I'm sorry I didn't pull you for a chat earlier. I just didn't do it. If you didn't have time, like, I don't understand the phrase, I didn't have time to pull you for a chat. What are we doing if we're not pulling people for chats all day? Why are you waiting till nighttime to talk to me? Hey, that's weird. What were you doing all day? Because if you didn't know, like, there's nothing to do in the villa. Okay, you can't bring a book. They really don't like you to nap. So, like, all you can do is bake and fry in the sun and then talk to people. So I'm really not understanding what they mean by that when they're like, oh, I didn't have time to pull you for a chat. What were you doing? Okay. Another logistical questions. What are these women doing when they have their period in the villa? Because they are in bathing suits, string thong bikinis every single day. In the hot sun, like, what are we doing about that? Because me personally, I would need to like not be seen all day, and I would also like to be in like sweatpants, maybe even a nice short, like a comfy short. You know what I'm saying? Like, another thing, waxing and shaving. what type of regimen are we doing that like your bikini line is still so smooth like a month in? Like, is it just wax? Are we touching that up? Like, this isn't even like logistical questions about the villa. This is just logistical questions that I have personally. Like, how are we maintaining that? I would love to know, because like, I mean, y'all look great. Like, truly, y'all look great. I just like, I need to know the regimen. So just let me know on that one. Also, nails. What are we doing there? Because, you know, if you come in with your nails done, if you're in that villa the entire time, like all of their nails still look really good. Like, they look like they just were done. So is there a nail tech on site in the villa, or are they press-on nails that we are changing out? Because even if they are press-on nails, I've never seen one person missing a nail. So like, what is going on there? Because there's no growth. There's no grow out. So tell me a little bit about that process as well. Also, where are the producers? Because I know that all the cameras in the villa are like robot cams, robocams. So there's no camera people. But where are the producers? Because I remember seeing a clip from season 6, and it was during the vote where, what's her name? Andrea, when they sent Andrea home, it was during then, it was like the behind the scenes where they showed like the full sequence of them making that decision. And there was a producer on site. They're like, okay, well, you have 2 minutes to decide. And they're like, no, come here. And then there was a producer in the shot. So I'm like, girl, where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Like, where'd you come from? And where do you stay? I know you're not staying in the villa, so like, where do you hide as well? Because again, there are about 100 cameras in this villa. Like, where are you residing? I would love to know that. And are there multiple, you know, PAs on site? Like, is there security on site? Like, how is that working logistically? I would love to know. I would also love to get into an editing bay in like Love Island, just to see how they edit the episodes, because I'm like, okay, they're like 2 days behind, so they're always editing. So I would love to see how y'all chop that up and decide like what goes where. Anyway, if I was in the villa, I think where y'all would get me, like, okay, we don't have books, not the greatest, but I'll survive. We can't really take naps. You're losing me. But where you're really getting me is that I don't think there's any music in the villa. I can't listen to tunes for an hour. I can't listen to any music for a month, almost a month and a half if I'm an OG going all the way. I actually can't do that. I need to listen to something every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to give me something. So that's just kind of crazy. Also, I saw a tweet that said that Austin, when he was in the villa and he would ask a producer, like, what time is it? They would go, it's island time. No. I asked what time it is. It's island time. Okay, but what time is it? Like, that would actually drive me crazy. That would drive me insane. And I know they do have phones, so like, I think he could have just like looked at his phone. But I don't know if that's a real fact or not, but that's just what I saw on Twitter, that, you know, they would have a hard time like understanding what time it was, because if they asked someone, they'd be like, what is island time? Or maybe like, what day is it? I don't know, but they have phones. So I'm unsure on that front. One last thing about the Love Island cast as a whole. Jeremiah is out of the villa, and he has been, you know, meandering around LA. He's been doing his thing. He started a book club. I don't know. But there's something like, I know a lot of people love Jeremiah, and that's whatever. But there's something weird about Jeremiah that I really can't get into. Like, I can't sink my teeth into what I find weird about him, but I just find his energy very weird. I'm like, you're actually not funny. and like I don't really care to see you. So I don't know what that is. I don't know. But maybe I'll find out one day. Okay. What else do I have to... Oh, again, this isn't a Love Island thing. This is just like a me thing. But like, how do y'all learn how to flirt? How does one learn how to flirt? Like, is it just like through experience? Or, I mean, are there classes? Can I sign up? Like, what... How are we being playful and like outgoing, and how are we doing that? Anybody want to let me know? Okay, I'd love that. I was going to talk about Charlie Puth today, but I'm going to save that for next week because I've been talking for an hour. And I do want to get into my Charlie Puth lore one day, but today is not that day. Lastly, today I do want to talk about ATs. ATs, I'm actually seeing ATs in a week, exactly. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I'm super duper duper excited. And I truly can't wait for that. It's going to be incredible because they just had their first shows in Korea. Baby. This tour is called In Your Fantasy for a reason, because it is everything in your fantasies. Because tell me why Wooyoung is shirtless. Okay, we're getting body rolls from everyone. San is obviously like shirt open. Seonghwa is back open with chains on the side. Like, I'm trying not to look at too much because I do want there to be like an element of surprise. And also, I think everybody has like a solo song this time. Actually, let me look up the set list. I'm pretty sure everybody has a solo song because they're coming out with an album this weekend. So that is awesome. I'm just like, this is great. I truly am overwhelmed. And I saw the set list and I got so overwhelmed that I didn't even realize that Selfish Waltz is not on the set list, because immediately when I saw Blind, I said, y'all got me. Y'all got me for sure. But yeah, they got me. They just got me. I have no other words for it. But let me pull this up. Oh yeah, they're starting off the tour with Bouncy. Like, that's the first song in the set list. Oh, so you're trying to kill me. You're trying to kill me. That's crazy. Anyway, oh Lord. I'm really excited to hear everyone's solo in full, because I'm ready. I'm ready to scream. I'm ready to cry. I'm ready to yearn. And I just think it's going to be absolutely insane. And I'm just so excited that I get to see them again. Almost exactly a year later. And I'm also so excited to hear Lemon Drop live, because I've been bumping that like crazy. It's so good. And they're playing Shaboom. Like, guys, this is going to be so fun. Also, Hongjoong, I did see a clip from his solo stage, and that was a club. So I can't wait to go to the club with Hongjoong. Yay. I'm down. What's that? What's the spot in Korea that the clubs are at? Hongdae. I'm going to Hongdae with Hongjoong. I wow, that was literally on the spot. I'm just ready to break those walls with them once again. So I truly am just so excited. Anyway, also Masterpiece is not on the set list. You can't win them all. You really can't win them all. But anyway, I'm so excited to see ATs, and I will be a new woman. I also don't have an outfit. Like, I don't know what's going on with me, but like everything in my life is happening all at once. Like, and by all at once, I mean like in the next 3 weeks. Everything that I've been looking forward to in summer is happening in 3 weeks. So it's a little overwhelming, and I am kind of out of it, honestly. Like, I'm going to a wedding in a month, literally a month, exactly today. And I'm also, obviously going on The Bachelorette in like 2 weeks. And I'm just like so far removed that I need to really lock in and actually be present and mindful, because I'm not. I'm literally just going day by day. Like, I'm going through the motions and I'm not really thinking about anything or anyone, to be honest. But yeah, I just need to like actually pay attention to what's going on so I don't mess something up. But I don't know. I've just been feeling very weird, and I've literally just been taking it day by day, like whatever. This goes back to my fear that this is like very random, but I just feel like, and I don't even know if this is actually a thing, but I don't think I'm depressed, but I do think there's something wrong in my brain. Like there's a wire that's literally not crossed, and I don't know what to do about that. And I'm not saying that I'm like completely like heartless and I don't care about anyone, but like there's sometimes, or most of the time, or maybe this is just how I've been living my life, but like I literally, it's day by day, hour by hour for me. And I wish that I could just, I mean, I guess it sounds like I'm being present, but I'm not. Like I'm just literally going through the motions. Anyway, I'm going to shut up because I don't actually know what I'm talking about, and I'm processing that in real time, and that's never a good thing. So I'm going to be done. I literally only talk about Love Island, but when I tell you that's the only thing I've been thinking of, it's truly the only thing I've been thinking of, and I don't know what I'm going to do with myself when the season's over on Sunday. Like, I don't think it's going to be good for me. I really don't think it's going to be good for me. I think I might freak out. But guys, Nicolandria stands are up. I'm up. And if you try to bring me down, I will fight you. I will fight you on the way down, because what happened to a fantasy whimsical time on a reality show? Like, guys, I don't care. I really don't care what you have to say. If you don't believe it, I can't convince you. I can't convince you. If you don't see it, I cannot be the one to show you. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I'm exhausted now. I'm even more exhausted. And I wish I had, I do think tonight I'm going to watch or rewatch the baby episode, because I just think it's funny. Also, to whoever called Huda sadness, that was really good. Sadness and 6'8" have got to go. And I am scared because I know Huda has such a strong following. I know they do. I know they're out there. And I'm scared that, I actually don't know. If Huda and Chris don't go home next week, like, I don't know who would. Maybe Iris and Pepe. But there's no way that Chris and Huda deserve to be in the finale. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's what needs to happen. But what does need to happen is Nicolandria meeting Nick's mom. And I need that to be a real thing that is happening right now as we speak, actually. So, yay, I hope they're having fun together. It's also crazy that they're bringing their families, like, into the villa. Like, they're going to see them for a couple hours and then be like, okay, bye, I'll see you, whatever, whenever. I don't know. That's odd to me. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed this episode. Yeah, engage with the podcast. Like I said earlier, follow me on Instagram if you want, at dvictoria9. Also follow the podcast on Instagram at Unhinged Fangirl podcast. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys next week. And by that time, Love Island will be over. So sorry in advance for my mental state, but that's what you're going to have to get. All right, guys. Love you. Bye.